Have you ever paused to wonder what someone truly feels when you're no longer there? Not just pulling back, but completely disappearing? Picture this. No texts, no calls, no explanations. Just silence. In a world that thrives on constant communication and overexposure, your sudden absence is a shockwave, a stark disruption to their assumptions about your availability. People often take for granted what is always within their grasp. They assume you'll remain, that you'll tolerate, that you'll endure. Yet, as the Stoics teach, there is immense power in withholding what is yours to give. By removing yourself, you create a space that forces them to confront their dependency, their actions, and their failures. This isn't about revenge or manipulation. It's about reclaiming your worth and choosing self-respect over convenience. When you step away, you aren't just exiting their life. You're making a profound statement about who you are and what you will no longer tolerate. Today, we're exploring the 10 intense feelings they experience when you simply disappear. Each of these stages reflects their journey into understanding what they lost, while simultaneously marking your own transformation into someone stronger, more self-reliant, and undeniably valuable. If you've ever felt like an afterthought, like an option rather than a priority, this message is for you. Together, let us walk the path of Stoic wisdom and recognize why sometimes the loudest statement you can make is your silence. Stay with me to the end, and you'll see how this seemingly simple act, your vanishing, can become a turning point for both their introspection and your liberation. Now let's begin. Number 1. Shock of the unexpected. They never saw it coming. Your presence, once taken for granted, disappears without warning, leaving them stunned. To them, you were as reliable as the sunrise, constant, unquestioned, and unappreciated. But your absence reveals a truth they ignored. Your presence was never a guarantee, but a gift. In their shock, panic takes hold. Why did they leave? What did I do wrong? Their world, built on the comfort of your consistency, crumbles as they realize the stability they enjoyed was yours to give, not theirs to claim. This isn't cruelty, it's clarity. By leaving, you strip away their illusions and force them to confront their neglect. For you, it's the first step toward freedom, a declaration that your worth cannot be bound by the complacency of others. Let them feel it. The shock is theirs to endure. Your liberation is yours to claim. Number 2. Realization of their dependency. Once the initial shock fades, a heavier truth begins to emerge. They depended on you far more than they realized. Your absence, like the sudden removal of a keystone, reveals the fragile structure of their comfort. What was once seamless and effortless now feels incomplete, hollow. The Stoics remind us that true strength comes from within, yet many lean on others without thought, mistaking their borrowed stability for self-sufficiency. Your presence was their crutch, the source of validation, support, and understanding they took as their due. Now, without you, they are left to confront the void. Each small routine becomes a reminder of what you brought into their life. The conversations they dismissed, the moments they undervalued, the quiet ways you steadied their chaos. All these things resurface, but now only as echoes. They may try to fill the gap with distractions or others, but nothing fits the shape of what you offered. This realization is not comfortable, but it is necessary. For them, it is a reckoning with their own complacency. For you, it is a testament to the value you bring, not as someone who props others up, but as a person capable of walking away to preserve your self-worth. Let them sit with this dependency. It is not yours to soothe or resolve. In their discomfort lies the seed of understanding, the chance to grow if they choose to. And for you, it's the proof that by stepping away, you reclaimed the balance they took for granted. Number 3. Confusion and search for clarity. After your disappearance, their mind spirals with questions. Why did they leave? Was it something I did? In their confusion, they grasp for control, replaying past interactions and searching for meaning. Yet, as the Stoics teach, clarity requires confronting reality, not fabricating illusions or avoiding responsibility. They may seek answers from friends, social media, or their own assumptions, but deep down, they know the truth. Your departure wasn't random. It was a response to their choices, their neglect, dismissal, or undervaluing of you. Your silence forces them to sit with their chaos, to wrestle with the discomfort of introspection. Clarity is not yours to provide. It's theirs to earn. While they search for answers, you remain free, a testament to the power of choosing self-respect over their confusion. Number 4. The void of absence. When you leave, it's not just your physical presence that disappears. It's the energy, the stability, and the connection you brought into their life. What remains is a void, one that grows larger with each passing day. At first, they may deny its existence, telling themselves they can carry on without you. But soon, the emptiness becomes undeniable, a gnawing ache that no distraction can satisfy. The Stoics teach us to recognize the value of what is essential by observing its absence. Yet, for many, this lesson comes too late. In your departure, they are left to confront just how much of their life was anchored by your presence. The warmth you brought to their cold days, the steadiness you offered in their chaos, all of it is now gone. They may try to fill this void with others, with busyness, or with shallow pleasures, but nothing fits the unique space you occupied. Why? Because what you offered was not replaceable. Your care, your understanding, your efforts, they were distinct, rooted in your own virtue and not easily replicated. As they wrestle with this void, you must stand firm. Let them experience what it means to lose something they took for granted. In the silence of your absence, they face the truth. It wasn't just anyone who made their life better. It was you. And now, without you, the emptiness remains, echoing with the quiet reminders of what they failed to appreciate. For you, this void is not a loss but a reclamation. You've taken back the energy and effort once spent on those who did not value it. What they feel as emptiness, you feel as freedom. Number 5. Fear of being replaced. As the void deepens, fear takes hold, the fear of you finding joy without them. They imagine you with someone new, sharing moments they once dismissed. It's not just jealousy. It's the unsettling realization that they were never as irreplaceable as they believed. This fear stems from control, not love. They thought you'd always stay, but your absence forces them to question their worth and confront the truth. Their neglect made them replaceable. For you, this is freedom, not regret. While they spiral in fear, you walk forward, embracing the independence that comes from choosing yourself. Their fear is theirs to bear. Your strength is yours to claim. Number 6. Growing curiosity. As silence stretches on, their curiosity grows insatiable. Where have you gone? What are you doing? Who are you with? The absence of answers becomes unbearable, and their thoughts spiral into endless speculation. In the age of instant updates and constant connection, your disappearance is more than a mystery. It's a challenge to their need for control. The Stoics teach us that the unknown unsettles those who lack inner peace. Your silence, deliberate and unwavering, forces them to sit with the discomfort of not knowing. Each unanswered question, each unviewed profile, becomes a reflection of their inability to let go. They might turn to social media, mutual friends, or even their own imagination to piece together your life without them. But every empty search, every blocked path, only deepens their obsession. Human nature resents mystery, and your silence becomes a riddle they are desperate to solve. Let them wonder. Their growing curiosity is not your concern, but their lesson to learn. The more they chase answers, the more they reveal their dependence on your presence. Meanwhile, you remain resolute, using this space not to dwell on their confusion, but to focus on your own growth. In their search, they may find fragments, but they will never grasp the whole. For the life you are building without them is yours alone, defined by strength, clarity, and the wisdom to let go of those who could not appreciate your worth. Number 7. Inner turmoil and self-reflection. With no answers to their questions, they turn inward. Left alone with their thoughts, discomfort takes root. The Stoics remind us that growth requires self-examination, and without you to reassure or distract them, they are forced to confront their failures, ignored texts, dismissed moments, misplaced pride. Regret follows as they replay interactions, realizing they can no longer shift the blame. You're not there to argue or forgive. The responsibility is theirs alone. This turmoil leads to hard questions. Was I too cold? Did I push them away? Questions that challenge their character and demand introspection. Meanwhile, your silence remains steadfast, allowing you to rise, unburdened by their reckoning. Their regret is their own. Your freedom is yours to embrace. Number 8. Attempts to regain control. When regret becomes too heavy, they seek to reclaim the control they once felt. But rather than approach with sincerity, they resort to tactics, performative actions designed to provoke a reaction. They post carefully curated moments on social media, send cryptic messages, or pretend to move on, all in the hope that you'll break your silence. The Stoics teach us to see manipulation for what it is, a distraction. These efforts stem not from growth but from insecurity and fear of your absence. Your power lies in refusing to engage. Responding validates their games. Silence maintains your independence. Let their attempts falter while your resolve grows. Their struggle for control is theirs to endure. Your freedom is yours to protect. Number 9. Regret and vulnerability. When their attempts to regain control fail, regret takes center stage. They are left exposed, their pride stripped away by the weight of their own actions. Vulnerability follows, an uncomfortable but inevitable truth they can no longer avoid. They let something valuable slip through their fingers. The Stoics remind us that responsibility lies within, yet many struggle to face their failures. Their regret stems not just from your absence but from their own neglect and ego. Apologies may follow, but the question is whether they've truly learned. For you, this is not a call to return but a validation of your worth. Their regret is theirs to bear, not yours to mend. Stand firm, focusing on the freedom and clarity you've gained while they sit with the lessons of their loss. Number 10. Your emotional independence. In the final stage, the focus shifts from them to you. While they wrestle with regret and turmoil, you emerge stronger, clearer, and free. This is the moment where you realize the most profound truth. Your happiness, your worth, your peace, none of these were ever dependent on them. The Stoics teach that true freedom lies in mastering oneself. By walking away, you've reclaimed your independence, free from their validation or indifference. Your strength and growth now speak louder than any words. For you, this is liberation. The silence that once felt like loss is now serenity, and the void has become space for your true self to flourish. This is your victory, discovering your own strength and building a life free of their hold. When you disappear, it's not merely an act of leaving. It's a statement of self-worth. The 10 stages they experience are not just lessons for them but affirmations for you. Each moment of their regret, confusion, and vulnerability reflects the impact of what they lost, but it also mirrors the power of what you've gained. The Stoics teach us that the greatest strength lies in choosing what serves our peace, in stepping away from what diminishes us. By walking away, you've chosen yourself. You've reclaimed the energy and dignity that were once overlooked, and in doing so, you've carved a path toward independence and clarity. Remember, your silence isn't about punishing them. It's about protecting you. It's a boundary that demands respect and a space where your own growth can flourish. Their reactions, their struggles, their realizations, they are theirs to navigate. Your focus remains forward, unshaken by the echoes of the past. So now ask yourself, what is the life you want to build, free from the weight of being taken for granted? This is your moment to rise, stronger, wiser, and untethered by the expectations of others. Let your absence be the loudest proof of your value, and let your journey be one of self-discovery and unshakable freedom. This is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of yours.